Spider-Man Brand New Day just introduced us to a villain that's not only the most powerful villain Spider-Man's ever faced, but they're one of the most powerful beings in the entire MCU. Spoilers ahead. In the movie, Spider-Man had to face an enemy that could control the minds of people, and upon further investigation, he found out that this villain is a young woman named Jean Grey. Yeah, the same Jean Grey that will eventually become one of the X-Men. And man, Jean was an absolute menace in this movie. Understandably a menace, but still a menace. And I wasn't joking about her being one of the most powerful beings in the MCU, like she's already showing glimpses of it. As I mentioned earlier, we see Jean Grey mind controlling people and able to hop from body to body, but more impressively, while she's doing this, she's able to move around and do things independently while controlling someone at the same time. That takes a lot of focus. And then towards the end of the film, when she's able to access her telekinetic powers, she's able to freeze a large section of New York City with her telekinesis. And probably most impressive was when she was able to keep Spider-Man alive by taking control of his body and breathing for him while he was in a coma. Like, just that alone puts her in the upper echelons of the MCU, but we're just barely scratching the surface of just the crazy shenanigans that Jean Grey can pull off. In the comics, Jean Grey is an Omega level mutant, which means her powers are basically limitless, and she's considered to be the most powerful telepath in the entire Marvel universe. For instance, she can create telepathic illusions, or basically make people experience events that aren't actually occurring, and these illusions can actually hurt you. She can grant herself and others telepathic camouflage, so if she doesn't want you to see her, if you look at her, you won't see it. It'll be like she's invisible. She can manipulate your mind, which means she can implant, restore, alter, or completely erase all of your memories. If she's fighting other mutants, she's able to put psychic inhibitors in their brain, which prevents them from being able to use their powers. She can telepathically communicate with anyone on Earth, and in some extreme cases, even in other dimensions. And she can shoot psychic blasts, which can cause physical pain, it can render someone unconscious, or in extreme cases, cause brain death. And that's just her telepathy. She also has telekinesis, and she doesn't just simply use it to move objects around. She can use it to create protective force fields, she can manipulate and transmute matter on a molecular and subatomic level, which allows her to do things from changing her clothes to completely disintegrating someone's body. And she can create telekinetic weapons that hurt you both mentally and physically. I don't quite know how a mental attack works. Maybe with a telekinetic sword she stabs you and you're depressed about it. Oh, and she can also manipulate psychic energy. So all living beings have some amount of psychic energy, and Jean is able to siphon that from people and make herself stronger. And she did this against Galactus, and then she was able to knock him out. Galactus, the guy that literally eats planets, Jean took him out. But the craziest thing about her manipulation of psychic energy is that she has become a being of pure psionic energy, which means if her physical form is completely destroyed, she can potentially repair herself from scratch. Jean Grey is also the true avatar of the Phoenix Force, which is a living manifestation of the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Because once she's combined with the Phoenix Force, it takes her already limitless powers and raises it to beyond limitless. She's able to travel through space faster than the speed of light. She can conjure up cosmic fire, which burns without a trace. Like, not even ash is left behind when she hits you with this. As the Phoenix, she can teleport across space and time, absorb energy like Cyclops' optic blast, and on top of all of that, she's immortal. She doesn't age, she doesn't get sick, and if someone is able to actually kill her, she doesn't truly die. The Phoenix Force just restores her body back to life. In Spider-Man Brand New Day, we learn a little bit about Jean Grey's backstory, and it's pretty traumatic, with her mom kicking her and her sister out of the house, and then her sister being kidnapped by Damage Control and eventually murdered. But her comic book origin is much different. Jean Grey was a young girl who was raised by both her parents, and she did have an older sister named Sarah. The movie made me question that too. I forgot all about her sister in the comics. But one day while Jean was playing a game with her best friend Annie was hit by a car, and the shock of that event prematurely activated Jean's mutant telepathic abilities. And while Annie was dying, Jean accidentally created a mind link with her, causing Jean to also experience Annie's death as if she were dying. Best friend getting killed. Superhero rule. Jean understandably plunged into a deep depression and isolated herself from everybody, and in concern, her parents contacted a man named Professor Charles Xavier to help her through her trauma. Xavier promised Jean that he would help her develop her mental abilities and took her on as one of his first students. And he also put psychic barriers in her brain to suppress her overwhelming power, that way she can develop them more naturally. And with Xavier's training, Jean would eventually become one of the first class of X-Men, and she was given the code name Marvel Girl. Though honestly, that name's not very popular, so everyone would just call her Jean Grey. But real quick, I wanted to let you know that I just started the Haynes for Heroes membership program here on the channel, and I want you to be a part of it. When you sign up to become a hero, you'll get access to loyalty badges, shoutouts on the channel, and priority responses to your comments. And if you sign up to become a superhero, you'll get all of those perks, plus early access to new videos, and you'll be able to request new superhero videos that you want to see on the channel. Your membership will help the channel create even more superhero content for you, so go ahead and click on the link down in the description below to get started, and I love and appreciate you. But now that you know more about Jean Grey as a character, what is her future in the MCU going to be? At the end of Spider-Man Brand New Day, we see Jean Grey taking a bus somewhere very naturally, and I believe she's heading to Westchester County where she can meet a certain professor and use him to help find other people like her. So now that Jean Grey is in the MCU, it's only a matter of time before the other X-Men start popping up as well. And since Jean Grey is rumored to be in the Secret Wars film, maybe we'll see a lot more of them in that. And the apparent plan of the MCU is to focus more on the X-Men after the Secret Wars movie, and putting Jean Grey in this movie is just them building that foundation. And if we do get more X-Men films in the MCU, I really hope we finally can get a good Dark Phoenix movie, because the last two were just ugh. But real quick, what do you think of Jean Grey's debut in the MCU, and what other X-Men would you like to see pop up? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, shoot a telepathic blast at the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you missed my previous video where I broke down the post-credit scene of Spider-Man Brand New Day, go ahead and click on the box right here, and I'll see you in a bit.